Hi, and welcome to Breakfast with Max. Um, in the love and light of the one Creator. I'm very happy to have you here for this new edition, for this new breakfast, your first meal of the morning, and your first meal after awakening. I love this. So I love doing this. So I'm very happy to have you here. And so I am really excited for this because I've been preparing all for thinking about this all day. So sometimes I think, well, you think about it, well, do it. So I'm doing this. And I am having you here for this breakfast with Max because first of all I want to say this. I need to say this. I need to say that I am grateful, and I am grateful to my higher self, to my true self, to my being of light, to my soul, whatever name, in which way, whatever way we want to call it, doesn't matter. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for everything, for the experiences, for the moments, for bringing me here, for being there, because I realize now that the separation has always only been a illusion. So that in reality there is no separation. In reality, I am with my higher self all the time, and my higher self is with me all the time, and this is true for each and every one of us. I'm not exception. I'm talking about these things which you're not, which most of the people are not talking about, because I know you don't consciously know. You know, but you don't know you know, so you keep avoiding it. But you are a creator, as I am, as everyone is. So, and you are yourself as me, as everyone else is. And so that's why I am in a place where I can say thank you. And where I can say it here, while on camera, whatever, I know that this is not real, that everything that we have here, computers and the internet, Facebook or whatever, Twitter, it's just fake. We don't need them to communicate, but we create those things just to be able to communicate with each other. That's what we are getting closer to, being able to communicating mentally, uh, you know, um, which we should be able to do, but we're not doing it. So we create these kind of things in order to be able to do it. That's all it is. There is no computer in front of me in reality. I'm not here in reality. You're not there. Your higher self has never moved ever. But anyway, um, that's not what I wanted to do. But going back to, I'm grateful, and I feel unconditional love and unconditionally grateful for everything, because I have a fully understanding and acceptance of everything that has happened in every version of me, every version of 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 us that are out there, whether it's me in all the different moments that I'm experiencing, or whether is my higher self's other creations, other incarnations, so my other lives, wherever they are, in whichever planet, in whichever dimension. I'm thankful for all of that. And I know that, especially here in their dimension, the experiences are not all being a being of light. But I know that that's part of the deal. You cannot, you have to make the experience in order to be able to know what the experience is. You have to live the moment, you have to be in the moment. And that is happening right now, out there in the universe, in wherever the moment it's happening. And it's what? It's an illusion, as everything, but it's the experience. You are there in order to make the experience, and you have experiences that are experiences of being positive and great, and sharing and loving and everything of that, but you have also experiences where you are exactly the opposite. And guess what? That's part of the game too. Because you are a creator, but also a co-creator. And sometimes co-creators needs the opposite in face of them. Someone that challenges them. Someone that does bad things. But not because they are bad, they are lost or whatever, because they are co-creators. And someone has to be the bad guy. And we have to embrace all of that. That's what we are. And I think, I don't think, and I embrace it. And I feel true to myself, and I feel that my reality, my truth. And there is no truth beside that than being one with the all. To accept it, to integrate it, and to live it. That's what you're supposed to do. How can you not do it if you want really to be your true self? You embrace it and you move on. And so, yeah, I'm grateful and full of love for everything. For my higher self, obviously, which is me. I'm him, her, it. I don't think that there are genders really where there aren't. We have absolutely here no idea how other dimensions work. Exactly. We are told, but even that it's difficult for us to really go into the understanding of that. But we try our best. I try my best, and I stay open to the fact that I don't understand. So I accept that, and I don't have to understand, because in this moment, here and now, it doesn't matter. I'm here and now. I don't have to know, and at the same time, I'm there as well, because I am a multidimensional being, as you are, as everyone is. So we are here and there at the same time. Yes. Because what? There is no time, so everything is happening at the same time in all over the universe. So you are a multidimensional being present in every place in the universe, in every dimension of the universe, in every vibration. And I'm grateful to all the beings that are around me, with me all the time, because I felt their presence, I felt their interventions. I know that they have preventing me from dying. in various moments, and that try to avoid me doing unnecessary moves that I could have avoided, but well, then you do that, and your higher self find a way to navigate through it, and becomes an experience, a lesson, a something that you do, and that makes you move on. And I'm grateful to everyone, each and everyone that I have ever met, for sharing with me those moments, to co-create with me all those moments, wherever they were, and enriching my my experience, making the experiences. And and I realized that I have always wished everyone and each one in this world, in this universe, everywhere, good, success, love, whatever. Because I have always thought that it doesn't matter what you do, love is the answer. So love everyone, even those that you think are doing something that makes you sad or unhappy, or that are attacking you, or making things that, yeah, they are terrible. Yes, they're doing terrible things, but it doesn't mean that you have to hate them. Why? We are being so love. We are not being so hate. Love. Love, that's what created the universe. That's one of the primal energy that have led all creation. And if we are here and now, it's because of love leading the way. So yes, love is the primal energy, and is what has to lead our lives, our intentions, our behavior, our interactions. So why not? Why not admit it and embrace it and say, I love you, and I do love you, and I love you in an unconditional way. I don't put conditions on that. I'm not expecting you to love me back, or I don't need that. I'm not asking that, because that will be conditional. And love, real love, the love, universal love, is different from what we think love is, and it certainly is unconditional. And I think that this is really important, and I really wanted to say thank you, and I love you with all my heart, with all my being. And so I also wanted to um, to share something, that a story. Yes, I wanted to share a story with you. It's a story um, that I heard the other day. It's a story of someone from South Africa that goes to a conference, like, and says the story of a friend of his that he knew in South Africa. And that person contracted, was a positive, contracted HIV. But that person couldn't or didn't want or whatever take the medicine, the pills that you have to take when you have HIV. And that person was advocating. So the one that was telling the story was there advocating for um, having in Africa more medicines, more pills, more those things, and to be able to have them less expensive because, well, in his experience, that friend that was HIV positive died because he didn't take them, didn't have them, or whatever, didn't have the money, but or decided very simply not to take the pills, and so on and so on. That's the story. The sad story of a person in South Africa that contracted HIV, became positive, and died because he didn't take the pills. And his friend witnessed this happening and witnessed this person dying because of that. But obviously that's not all the story, because that's a really very interesting story, but that's a story of what? It's the reality of the one that is telling the story. That's what the person telling the story experienced. Now I'm going to tell you another version of the story, a version of the story that is a version that is not the reality of the person that was telling the story. That's the reality of the other person, the person that contracted HIV. You see, that person didn't die because he didn't take the pills. He died because the person that told the story has a reality. In that reality, someone that doesn't take the pills dies. And the friend that was HIV positive as a co-creator died so that the friend that was telling the story could experience what he was expecting to happen to someone that doesn't take the pills. But guess what? That's one reality. That's his reality. And then there is the reality of the guy not taking the pills and surviving without the pills. Because in reality, the pills are what? A creation of the creator. And therefore, their need, it's only an illusion that a creator think that another creator or himself needs to survive. But in reality, you don't need that, as you don't need anything to survive. Only what you believe you need to survive. So if that guy decided that he didn't need the pills in order to survive, well, he survived. And he's still alive without the pills. But obviously his friend had to witness what he believed will happen to anyone not taking the pills. Because that person from South Africa that believes that doesn't believe that African medicine can heal, traditional medicine can heal you. You need absolutely from Western medicine, because he heard that and he made it his reality. But other people in Africa, in other countries, all around the world, doesn't believe that you need traditional medicine, and they survive without that you'd need uh, Western medicine in order to survive. They believe that traditional medicine is better, and guess what? They're right, because when you believe your belief system is that Western medicine is the only way, well, that's obviously what you will experience. But if you believe that and you accept that traditional medicine is also able to cure everything, and it can cure everything, there is nothing that is uncurable. There are no things as uncurable diseases. That's what you're told. You can, you can, you can be in a place where everyone has a deadly disease that can be coped very easily. Or at least that's what they tell you. But if that's not what has to happen to you, it will not happen to you, because that's your reality. If you don't believe it, if you don't accept it, you can be there with 20, 50, hundreds, 100 people around you being dying of whatever deadly disease, and you don't cook them. You don't cook them. You just stay healthy. Why? Because if that's what has to happen, that's what happens. And if that's your belief and you accept it, you accept that you don't need to take a disease. You don't believe that diseases are taken that way, but you understand that the IA disease a energy, and that energy it's not that it goes like that to hit you because, well, it doesn't know where to go, but that energy, an illness, goes where it has to go because that's where he has to go in the moment for experience, and not because there is some idea that, well, that's what it is. But obviously that's not what we are told. So that when you have someone that experiences and witnesses, someone that decides not to go the Western way, where, oh, you have a disease, you have to take the pill, and they say, well, I'm not going to take that pill, and I'm surviving without that. But the one that believes that you cannot survive, well, will experience your death. And that's the story, told in a different way. A guy that didn't take the pills, and in the experience of a co-creator, he died. But in another version of reality, which is as real as the other one, or as unreal as the other one, whichever you want to go, it's fine. He survived, and he's still alive. Each one of those realities is as good as the other. And each one of those realities are created by the one creating them. And that's all. And then there is another thing I wanted to talk about. And that's in relation with the Seth material. Because I was thinking about this, and this story is a good introduction, because in this story there is a guy that dies in one version of the story. Um, But that's interesting because I've had this in my head since I've been reading the Seth material. Um, and Seth describes our being alive as saying that confronting in comparing life and death. It says you are as you will never be as alive as in death. So you cannot say, it's not that. It was explaining that death is not what we believe it is, and that um, our concept of life and death are is completely wrong. That when you die, you're still alive, which is really very interesting, actually, because we absolutely don't believe that. But uh, I understand that. You know, is that first of all, when you die, you're not dead in all of the realities, so you still have version of you that are still alive. So um, that's one thing that should show you that life and death, well, so that when you die, you're only doing what, becoming invisible to those that believe that they are still alive, and they cannot see you because you are, for them, you died. And in the reality that we have in your dimension, that means that you cannot be there standing in front of anyone else, so you become invisible, a ghost if you want, but you still exist. The only thing I guess that is changing is that your vibration is different, so you are in another plan of reality. That's all. And in that other plan of reality, Seth explains very well that what we experience there is very close to what we expect. If you expect hell, you'll experience hell. And if you expect something more like having 20, 40, 50 um, young women coming to welcome you, well, that's probably what you will experience. The experience, the reality will come to you when it has to come. You will be guided through the understanding of the fact that you are deaf, or not in the reality where you were, but you are in a new reality where you're supposed to be deaf to those that are alive and to you when you were alive. That's where you are in that now, in that moment. And then you realize it and you start doing the thing that you do when you are not in this reality, and that you are in the other reality. You remember, you probably get to understand better yourself, and then you start to plan your next life. Or I mean, that's not really, it's not a timeline that, so that you are experience that as you experience everything else, and so that's your moment. And then you go to the next moment, and then you have the experience of being reborn in a new life. But as there is no time, that's happening right now, which confirms that you are as dead as alive, and alive as dead. And that concept is a little bit a difficult concept. But you are what? A creator. So a creator is God, and God doesn't die. So you don't die. Death is a illusion of the illusion. You experience that illusion, so it's part of the illusion. It's part of the experience of the dimension in the disconnection that you have. And as for everything else, when you realize that you are the creator, and so that death is as much as your creation as everything else that you experience. And there I have just said the most outrageous thing that I have ever said. You create your own death. Ta-da! Yeah. Yes. So if you are the creator, and you are the creator, what are you afraid of? Death? Well, if that's your choice, it's your reality, and it's fine. But I cannot conceptualize anything that is taught about this there being a hell. That is really, really, really stupid. Sorry, you don't want to. I don't care, but that's stupid. And I understand that that's what you have been taught, and that how you have been raised, and so you believe that because you've been told that that's how things are. But you have a brain, you have everything you need in order to think by yourself. And it would be great if you were doing that. Because if you really think, if you really use your brain, your intelligence, and you go inside of yourself and listen through your heart, well, there is only one way you can go and understand that that is not possible. Not possible. So, except that that makes you fear the future, death. How can God fear anything? But yeah, this is, as I said, the most outrageous thing to say, and but well, I don't care because this is what it is, and you can believe whatever you want to believe. As always, I will repeat you. Whatever I say, you don't have to take it. Your reality is what you decided to be, and you believe something, and that something becomes your reality. So, if you don't like what I say, then you don't have to buy it, you don't have to follow it, you don't have to listen it. It's absolutely fine. You have your reality, you have your beliefs. You don't have to take anyone else's. Okay, so let's celebrate ourselves. Let's celebrate the creator, the creators that we are, and celebrate our multidimensional being, our higher self. Because the all is one, the one is all. So we are all one in the end. and celebrating our true selves and every layers of it is loving everyone, the entire universe, the entire species out there, unconditionally, with love. The love of you, the love of everything, unconditional. And love is unconditional, the true love. You, you keep, you spend your life putting conditions on everything. Aren't you tired of that? Isn't it better when you don't put conditions? You do whatever you want, obviously. I prefer not to put conditions, but that's me. I prefer to break walls, to try to break them because I don't like to be prisoner. I don't like to be enslaved. I don't like to be told what I can, what I cannot do. I don't like it. I am the creator. I am God. I don't have to accept it. I don't have to accept your bloody laws or your bloody conditions, and you can do this, you can't do this. If you do this, it's the. Oh, stop it. Stop it, please. Just love. A lot of love. Feel it. Have it with you because it's really unconditioned. And that's an universal energy that we all have, that we all have in our hearts. And with that love, I say goodbye. I hope you had a great breakfast with this illusion of me that is called Max. I love you in the love and light of the one creator.